Good morning. Welcome to 4Media and to this week's Q&A live stream. We hope you're all keeping well and that everyone's hair is holding up a bit better than mine. I think if this lockdown goes on for too long, we'll all have to turn off our cameras and stick to audio. But in all seriousness, we're living in an uncharted and uncertain time at the moment, and there's no denying that it's tough in the PR world. So now it's more important than ever for us to stick together as an industry. And here at 4Media, we're trying to do our bit to help with these live stream Q&A sessions. We plan to hold one every week if we possibly can, each time with a leading light from a section of the UK media, print, broadcasts, online. We had many hundreds tuning in to watch our first two sessions over the past fortnight. We had Dan Jones from The Sun and David Blackmore of ITV's this morning. So a big thank you to everybody who's supported us. To update you on our business here at 4Media, although we're all obviously now working from home, we're still launching surveys as normal. Broadcast interviews are being facilitated remotely, and live streaming is more important now than ever. So if there's anything we can do to help, then please get in touch. Sorry, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Alan Edwards. I'm the head of news at 4Media. I'm also the former night editor of The Sun newspaper, with a lifetime in Fleet Street under my belt. So between me and my team and Sam Dibley and his broadcast team, we have a pretty comprehensive insight into the media landscape, and we're here to help if we can. Anyway, today's Q&A is looking at lifestyle coverage, and we're so lucky to have as our star guest the wonderful Lucy Gornall. She is editor of Woman and Home's bi-monthly magazine Feel Good You, and also health editor across TI Media's women's titles, including Woman and Home and Woman. On top of that, she finds time to somehow be a part-time fitness instructor, personal trainer. She's brilliantly placed to give us a unique insight into what's happening in the magazine world, both print and online, right now. So I think many of you know the drill. Lots of people have already sent in questions that I'll put to Lucy on your behalf. And there's a facility for you to send live questions as we go, which should appear down the side of your screen. I'll try and get through as many of those as I can in the 30 minutes that we've got. So now, technology permitting, my face will fade away and we'll say good morning to Lucy Gornall.
Hi, good morning. Happy Friday.
Hi, Lucy. Lovely to see you. Thanks so much for agreeing to come and do this. We'll just crack on and get away with the first question. So,
okay, let's go.
Basically, are lifestyle media platforms continuing with business as usual?
They are, yeah. And I feel that now more than ever, of course, health is high on the agenda. More people want to know how to stay healthy, how to keep their immune systems up. People are out running that haven't run since, 1998. So everyone's on the lifestyle. People want to protect their mental health, their well-being, their sanity during this period of working from home and not being allowed out. So yes, it absolutely is business as usual for lifestyle.
In many ways, I suppose the landscape must have changed quite a lot for long lead publications like yourself. So what will your August, September issues look like as a result of all this?
August, September. Well, I mean, I know across a lot of our titles, we have been taking travel pages out. People can't travel. And also post-corona may not have, sadly, the funds to travel. So lifestyle has expanded across some of the titles with more health pages, more well-being pages. August, September, I mean, in an ideal world, and I hope and I think we'll be, out of the kind of peak lockdown and corona crisis, I'd like to think that a lot of the articles will be kind of, how to take what we learned from lockdown into real life, such as simplifying your life, spending more time with your family, devoting more time to friends and exercise, etc. So there'll be a lot of articles like that. Also more about maybe budget buys as well. Again, like I said, a lot of people will have fewer funds. This has been a period where people have had pay cuts, people have been furloughed, people have lost their jobs, people are on unpaid leave. So we'll be looking at kind of cheaper items and maybe more budget, if people are going away, more budget escapes and things they can do in their own country, for example.
And looking at the magazines, the titles that you work across, are you moving more now to online based? I mean, are you having troubles with printing?
Yes, of course, because there's no one there to print. So magazines are going more digital. I know subscriptions have gone up. More people are subscribing digitally as well. And print has never been more important, really. Not print, sorry, online. Online is very important right now to try and keep all our readers engaged across all our titles. And of course, more people than ever are going online. People are online all the time, checking news at the moment. I'm one of them. So yeah, online, we are trying to keep a strong presence and make sure all our readers are constantly engaged.
So a bit more specific now into possibly, which is right up in your field, really, fitness. At the time when we're not allowed outside or to the gym, what does a good fitness story look like to you?
Well, home workouts. I have never seen so many home workouts available online right now. If you want to get fit, now's the time, because you are just inundated with free workouts online. There's just everything you could imagine, from lower body workouts to core workouts to workouts for seniors, workouts for beginners, working out with your kids, working out with weights. All the boutique studios are releasing free workouts. So if you are kind of wanting to try something new away from lockdown and it would require paying, now's the time to sample it for free to see if it's something you'd like, see what instructors you like, etc. So it is all about home workouts, of course, less of the outdoor workouts and less of the kind of gym routines and gym kit scenario. It's more about loungewear that you can also wear to do your workout on your mat in your living room, etc. It is all about home workouts, and obviously we can go out for that one bit of exercise. So I am incorporating, the best running trainers, tips on how to get running, how to do your first couch to 5K, things like that. A lot of walking as well, and cycling's in there also. And also just the equipment that you could use that's quite cheap and handy, like skipping ropes, for example, resistance bands, foam rollers, also essential. Also, because so many people now are exercising, I predict, and even from my own, I've suddenly been running more than I've ever run before. I have now, of course, screwed up my knee a little bit. So I'm focusing a lot on recovery and resting and the things I need to make sure my knee can carry on with these long runs. So I think a lot more kind of foam rolling, mobility, stretching as well will be incorporated.
So another question we've had in here, which kind of follows on from that. Are you still looking to hear of new product news?
Always need new product news. I mean, people still want to see new things, nice new imagery. Just because we're on lockdown and can't really do much doesn't mean we can't order online and buy ourselves nice new things. I mean, I'm thinking, if anyone's like me, I've been browsing online a lot more than I used to because I've got more time. So of course I want to see new things. So new products, always. We want our magazines to still feel fresh and relevant and new.
How much is the coronavirus, how much is that impacting in your content at the moment? I mean, are you actually covering much to do with that in the content you use?
Corona has affected it massively. We've had to change and rejig endless articles because suddenly they're not relevant anymore. I can't really say in an article, go see your GP if this is a problem, because we can't just go see our GP anymore. It's not as simple as that. So it's speak to your GP or call your GP. Corona itself has gone online a lot. I'm not writing about it too much in the print titles. I think people might get a bit fed up of reading about it all the time, but I do often touch on it within the piece. So, for example, a piece on boosting your immunity might mention corona within there, but it's not just solely about corona. Corona itself has gone more online, whereas the print, we look at more long term. And also, we don't just want to just be a magazine about coronavirus. People want to go to the magazine also as a way to escape from all the news that they're hearing day in, day out. So they want something fun to flick through.
So absolutely. Does that mean, although you're looking for kind of fun stuff as an antidote to all the gloom that's around, what about hard-hitting, sort of tear-jerking stories? Are you still, is there still room for those?
Across the titles I work on, yeah, of course, there's always a case for like real life stories, but I like a happy ending now. This is the time when people want the positivity and want to feel happier. I've always been someone, I've never really liked these motivational mantras and things about live, love, laugh everywhere and all of that. But suddenly now's the time when we need all of this. We need all the motivation, all the positivity. We need to feel happy. We're in a period of time where there's so much anxiety, confusion, people are upset, people are losing their jobs, people are getting ill, people are losing loved ones. And we want to boost morale here. We want to make people feel good. So yeah, hard hitting is great, but also I like often a positive outcome to come from that. So yeah.
So I've got one or two questions on food here, which if it in the current climate, you know, are you still looking for product reviews? Excuse me. And what are your views on receiving chilled food samples, for instance, when food's at a premium?
Yeah, I do get that actually. Well, obviously, if they want us to review something, then you've kind of got to review it and have the product, because you can't really write an honest review. I don't like to write about something and just lie or have not tried it if it's an actual review. So in that case, it is kind of key to try it. But I have also been taking a lot of excess food and product deliveries to a local food bank, because I feel as though they might need them more than I do right now. So that's been my personal take.
Fantastic. And also, still on food, do you still accept recipe placement stories, pictures?
For me and my pages, not much recipes. In Feel Good You, I do require some recipes. But recipes aren't such a thing for me. That's more, we have a food hub and they look after recipes a lot more than I do. But foods and their health benefits is massive for me always, because, and also personally, I'm a massive advocate of, you know, you are what you eat, and food plays a massive part in your immunity, your well-being, your mood, your stress, everything can be dictated by what you eat, I think. So yeah, recipes not so much, but specific foods, yes.
Great. So, I mean, in the PR world, I think everybody's a bit worried about the tone of what we do at the moment. I think everybody realizes that behavior now could have an impact for years to come when all this is over. So what do you think about how sensitive people need to be when pitching to you?
I think I've not received any pitches myself that haven't been have been insensitive. Ultimately, I don't really know how you can be insensitive with the pitches to me. Everything I've received has been really kind of positive, has been very much like, let's stay healthy during this lockdown, let's stay happy, let's stay upbeat. Everything I've received has been really kind of motivational and exactly really what I'd be looking for in my titles.
Yeah. Can you think of any no-nos that you might advise, areas that you might advise people to steer clear of?
Oh gosh, on the spot, areas to steer clear of.
Sorry.
Oh no, with corona, Not really. I'm not really one of those journalists who hates on certain emails they get. On a personal level, I get sent random stuff. Away from this, I do get sent a lot of random stuff about like dog food and things like that, which I do think completely irrelevant. But whatever, I tend to just ignore it. Sounds awful. Oh God. But no, I think anything. Working over so many titles with such a big expanse of kind of topics. There's well-being, there's self, there's mind, there's fitness, there's health, there's diet, there's medical. Means a big scope of releases can be sent to me, and often there'll be something relevant within it.
So you must get hundreds of email pitches weekly, daily. How can a PR company, how can a PR make theirs stand out to make you sit up and take notice? What's the sort of thing you're looking for?
Okay, so I love this kind of question. Firstly, I love a good subject line. Anything with a statistic or something really fun and new absolutely hooks me in. So say I got one the other day, I think it was yesterday or the day before, about how 1 in 4 of us or something have never drunk this much alcohol or something like that. And that completely grabbed me because I thought I can completely relate. I've barely had any nights wine free so far. Just a glass a night really takes the edge off. So yeah, something with a fun statistic, something I can relate to is always useful. Anything with stats, new stats, is so essential because I always need new things to drop into the titles. So do my team. So that's always good. Another way to hook in is mention of a new product that like a new food product or a new fitness product. I'm always intrigued as to new stuff coming out. I love staying in the loop with whatever's new and whatever's trending. A quote from an expert always does well. I like a new kind of something a bit controversial. Maybe an expert said something that goes against the norm, which is always really good for like a quick nib or a news story, or sometimes that could make a whole feature itself. A lot of ideas that I've got for the titles, and speaking on behalf of my team here, I'm sure, can come from the smallest little statistic in a press release, and other little things as well. This is on a personal level. I've had PRs like go, "Oh, I saw this on your Instagram earlier, and I thought this would really relate." Things like that mean the world because they always make me smile. One time, this was quite extreme, so I would never expect this, but one time a PR actually photoshopped my teddy bear. Yes, I'm 29, have a teddy bear. Photoshopped it onto the TRX machine that they were trying to promote. And to me, that has always stuck in my head. And since I've never, ever forgot that email because I laughed so much. And obviously that's completely more than you'd ever expect someone to do. But it was just something, it made it memorable. And yeah, little things like that. Also, I'll speak for every journalist here. Get the name right of the magazine, please. Because like, otherwise you think, was that meant for me or have they just completely sent to the wrong magazine?
I know where you're coming from. What about freebies? Do they help at all?
Oh, of course freebies help. I'd be lying if I said they didn't. Freebies always help. Who doesn't love a freebie? Like I said, a lot of food I've taken to the food bank, so at least it's gone somewhere good. But I mean, yeah, freebies are great. That's it. Everyone loves a freebie.
Great. So same on that line again, what can PRs do at the moment to make your life easier? Given the fact that you're at home, we're all at home, life is a bit difficult. So what can PRs do to make your life easier?
Always have high res shots to hand and information on products, etc. And ideally know that although I work well ahead, I've got lots of deadlines. So do my team. So as with anything, I don't want to be waiting weeks and weeks for quotes to come back. and things like that. If you can make the promise that you can do something or provide me with something, please don't let a journalist down last minute, because we've also got to get that page through. We've got people on our shoulders, like art teams, subs teams, who need to see that copy. At the moment, with so many companies furloughing people, etc., now more than ever, we have to work really closely and tightly together. So things have to run smoothly. So to miss deadlines or to have pages dropped or changed last minute because we were let down by a PR who said they could provide certain information. But then saying this, I'm fully aware, I've got some of my bestest friends work in PR, and I know that they've often been let down by experts or been let down by brands. So it's not their fault specifically. So I'm well aware of that. So just making life easy, just having pictures and quotes to hand, and just stay in touch lots. It's not forever, this, and we're all working from home. And I also love an email from a PR that's just like, how are you now? Feels like such a loaded question. And that's always really nice when someone just shows a bit of interest in your life.
Absolutely. Now, we've got one or two specific questions here, so we'll just do a quick fire round if we can of specific questions. Yeah. Would you be interested in interviews with influencers to discuss home workouts at this time?
Depends on the influencer, I guess. It needs to be age specific for me. So 35 plus. The readers don't want to read about a 20-year-old influencer. Also, the word influencer to a lot of my readers will be meaningless. So it needs to be someone who really does have a name in the field. The general theme of home workouts, though, is super useful. And of course, everyone's doing that now. So yes to that. So age specific is a big one. A celebrity is better than an influencer for my readers personally. For example, off the top of my head, like Davina McCall, all the readers know who she is, and she's the right age bracket for all our readers as well. She's quite relatable.
Another one here. Are there opportunities for interviews like with a mindfulness expert or a dermatologist, excuse me, frog in my throat, on how working from home affects your skin?
Interesting. I'm actually just working on a little story about how working from home affects your skin. I wonder if that's the same person. All these things are really useful. And yeah, working from home is something most of us, or a lot of us, are dealing with right now. So anything about that is always great. But keeping in mind, I'm working so far ahead that when the issues come out that I'm now working on, having already edited all the issues coming up, when these issues come out, we might not be working from home. So I have to factor in now. I'm looking at a lot of things like post-corona issues, and also maybe something about how working from home, the benefits of it in the long run, and how to maybe try and keep doing some working from home in the future.
You just mentioned the long lead time there. How far ahead are you working at the moment?
So on the monthlies, on like August now, Feel Good You looking at June, July, and on the weeklies also about June, July time. So ideally, that's the period, and that we're all hoping we're kind of coming out of this. But again, we can't predict, so we have to make everything quite not generic, but just be aware that stuff might need to be changed last minute. If we end up in lockdown till September, please no, then a lot of things will have to be adapted, because we'll still be in this process. Whereas if we're out of lockdown by May, then I'll have to change a lot of copy and be kind of post lockdown, post corona, etc.
Which brings us to travel, thinking of the summer. Are you looking for any travel content at the moment? Maybe like staycation stories or holiday memories?
Yeah, actually, cheap and cheerful, budget. Nothing like some 10 grand trip to the Maldives. Not happening right now. Yes, I think holidays within our own country are going to be a bigger deal this year. People have less money and also might be less inclined to fly. I think the fear of corona and hygiene will play on people's minds long into the future. People might be put off flying for a little while or going to other countries, especially because corona could still be within those other countries. We might be out of it at some point, but the countries we want to go to might not. So I do think staycations are going to be a much bigger deal as well. Also, how to not holiday at home, but how to make the most of your time at home without having to go on holiday.
There are opportunities, as Lucy was saying earlier, at this time, where life goes on in many ways. So Lucy's magazines are still coming out, even if they're not being printed. They're going out online. And she's still looking for the similar sort of features that she was looking for before. Not everything can be coronavirus. And I think although that is dominating our lives at the moment, it's, we need to be aware that there are opportunities outside that field. I've found very much that it feels difficult to break into the coronavirus debate because there's so much real news that's fast moving. It kind of overtakes everything we do. But publications and broadcast are not all about coronavirus anymore. There is other parts of life. People do need a laugh. So certainly at 4Media, we've been trying to come up with lines that would give people some fun and fill up those pages in papers, magazines, and those items on TV that aren't all doom and gloom. So I think now there is a huge appetite for this type of story, and I think that will grow as time goes on. There's only so much we can write, read, or broadcast about one subject before, however important it is and serious, we all get slightly bored of it. So I think there is an opportunity. I think it's interesting as well what Lucy was saying there about how she loves a statistic, and very much in this time, that's quite a good way of getting some fun into stories. We get some fun statistics to find out where we're going. So is Lucy still here? I think we may have lost her, and I think we may have lost her for good. So I think what I will say is we've practically had our 30 minutes. Is thank you very much, Lucy, if you can hear me, for answering all our questions and giving us some positive news among the gloom. I have a feeling your inbox might be filling up a little bit with pictures this afternoon, and you might even pick up some personal training business on the side. Who knows? Thank you, everyone else, for tuning in and sending in questions. We really hope you found it useful. Sorry for the little glitch at the end there. Next Friday is Good Friday, so we won't be here. Lord knows what else we'll be doing, because we won't be going anywhere. We'll be on the bank holiday. But anyway, we'll be back with the next 4Media Q&A on Friday, April the 17th, hopefully for a full 30 minutes this time. In the meantime, look after yourselves and stay well. Bye-bye.